Welcome to Gurus Magazine. I am editor-in-chief Derek Warburton, and today I have a very special sit-down with Elton llirjani. He is the CEO and founder of the Headhunter Group, which does headhunting around the world. He is also the founder of the Dignity Global Foundation, which he created to help protect LGBTQ plus people and women in the workplace from discrimination. He is a global influencer with more than 11 million followers on Instagram and a genderless model and walks runways around the world. This interview was so special because this is a man who lives in his truth. I was inspired by him. He is kind, he is beautiful, he is generous with his money, he is generous in soul, and he is generous in spirit. I hope that you enjoyed this interview. He really moved the needle for me in finding his power. And we talked a lot about finding freedom through power. It is a beautiful interview. I hope you enjoy.
Thank you very much for the good words, and it's a kind of motivation for my work. So I thank you very much for everything.
Of course, let's start with the Headhunter Group, because that is not something that, looking at you, someone would think that's your business, And what I love about it is that you are unexpected and you have brought in something so fresh and different. And I know that you have a master's, you've done so much education, but how did you and why would you get into this business?
It was kind of a dream, Everybody was thinking that I wouldn't do. Many people were laughing that, oh, he will do a business. He's a gay. He will have a gay business. Or they were making fun in everything I was doing in the beginning. So they didn't take me seriously, which was bad, but at the same time was good because everything has its good part, right? It was bad because I had doubts. I was afraid. I was scared because how can I do a business when people, the first thing that they say is that look at him, he's gay and he will do a gay business. By default, don't work with him. And by default means zero business. The good thing was that they didn't take me seriously, so they let me free, meaning that they didn't take me seriously, so they didn't see me as a competitor. So then I started to do business, and I was very, very successful because I brought a new mentality in doing business, in human resources, in recruitment, headhunting, EOR services, everything that was new for them. So I had all open ground to do business. And then here we are. We started in 2012. Then I expanded all around Western Balkans. Then we moved to Bulgaria, Greece, Cyprus, United States, Mexico, and Canada. And we work with partners that are with over 100 countries worldwide.
I'm always listening to different podcasts, and I'm listening to different leaders, and they all say the same thing. When you're unexpected is when you can really make success happen because no one takes you seriously. Now, what I'm really interested in is something that happened to you once the business really kind of took off. You, one, became an influencer, but what you did with that is even more important to me and why we're really here today. And you started the Dignity Global Foundation. Tell our readers about that.
I was in an online event, and we were doing the first LGBTIQ employment equality index in Albania, and we had all the foreign ambassadors. And I said there in 2016, it was the day against homophobia and transphobia. And I said that I'm proud that I'm gay. And when I go out of that meeting and that conference, there was not a single media that didn't cover it. And I shouldn't be gay because gay in that country, in that time, was thinking people that had nothing, that were poor, sex workers, sick, homeless. So what I did was really inspiring for all the community in my country and in the neighboring countries. And there it started everything, because part of my success, part of my company, I started to place also the indexes, employment indexes, to help LGBT get employed and to help women get employed, because I was believing that financial power is freedom. So if somebody is paid, has a stable job, is not being discriminated due to their sexual orientation or the way they dress. And this is when we started the foundation also, that became like a global idea. And then I was invited in 2018 United Nations from United Nations Women, from the CEO of UN Women, and I spoke in front of all philanthropist women, princesses, and all the kingdom families to stop discrimination. And then, as you said, I continued with a lipstick movement. If you see in the back, this is the picture I did in Greece. This is in a highway in Greece. I stopped in a bathroom and I entered the women's bathroom. And then I had a lipstick on me, and one of my friends took a picture, and this is an iconic picture. Now is a painting done from one of the young artists in Albania, and she protected her diploma with this picture for human rights. Then then I started in Texas back when I was living there, because I was seeing that many transgender of color were discriminated and violated, and some of the news where they were being killed, and this was sad.
Okay, first of all, you go from Albania to Texas. I'm surprised. Why didn't you go to New York City or LA or Miami or anything like that?
Oh, I just came to Texas for doing business, and one of my clients were in oil and gas industry, and they were based in Houston, in Texas. So I moved in Houston, Texas in 2017. I opened a business in 2016. Of course, compared to New York City, the possibilities are lower when it comes to gender inclusion and everything related. But there are regions that are worse. Like, for example, in Dallas, I faced much discrimination against transgender.
I can imagine it would be very difficult. But I love that you chose a place where, frankly, needs you, because they need the exposure and they need to see people. And, you know, I've always said that the exposure is the most important way to fight for equality. So what do you think that your biggest attribute towards making people feel safe and less fearful and in discrimination?
The first thing that people see in me is the success. So when they see the success and the big company and employing thousands of people worldwide, they create kind of a respect by default immediately. And they see that you are comfortable with yourself. The first success that I had in me was that I was comfortable in me. I never doubted me. I never not accepted me. I every time accepted me. And that is really transmitted. People can easily read that. So I was never afraid being successful, and at the same time touching the LGBT human rights aspect on a different angle, which was very unique. So I was touching it with two fingers, very strong fingers. One was the financial freedom for LGBT, getting them at work with equal rights and having a safe place to work. And the second, giving them self-confidence. We are beautiful the way we are, and there is nothing wrong with us. And then we can do everything and nobody dares to laugh at us, because we are the same as other people. And in some aspects of arts and fashion, we are more talented. So we should be proud of what we bring to the society. And that's what I was screaming also with the lipstick movement and with the genderless movement. I try to be fresh. I never edit my pictures. I never edit myself because I love myself. No need to edit, no need to put filters on me.
I love that. I think for a lot of people, they need to feel that they can see others that have really made it, like yourself, that are giving back to the community, helping people get back on their feet. And, you know, you live your life in service. And I think it's important for us to encourage other people like us to give back to the community, because so many are needed. And what's very sad about so much of this too is the fact that, you know, so many people don't grow up with the self-confidence that you have, you know, and I think that we need to be encouraging self-love and really loving yourself to be yourself, and showing that to the community is so special. And then being able to help them get placed in jobs so they're able to flourish, just creates this ripple effect in community. Now let's talk about the modeling more, because you're really walking international runways. How does that feel? Because people need to know, because that's a goal. How you feel is a goal, for so many people, because they need it to be a goal, frankly.
My dream when I was a child was to do runways. So what I was doing, I was raised in a very good family. My mother and father loved me the way I was. So I was every time wearing the heels of my mother, her lipstick, her dresses. My father was singing. So they raised me with love, and they were letting me do whatever I wanted to do. But my brothers and sisters, no. Some of them, they don't talk. So what I did, I said, I will try with photographs. And then I was afraid to go to the runways, because I was afraid at the 39, 40 years old, because they were thinking again I was disgusting, even in New York City. So what I did, I started to do runways on the streets of Soho. Then I did that for 1 year, and the designers started to see it. And they invited me to go to the runway. And then I said no the first time. It was in 2021. Yes, I said no, I was afraid. And then in 2022, they invited me, and I went, and I had the runway for 2 brands. One was an Italian brand, and the other was a brand from South Korea.
What was your moment where you were like, hold on, they're here now. They're seeing me and taking me very seriously. What was that aha moment?
There were 2 moments, because the world is not
good. We love to.
There were 2 moments, because the world is discriminating in 2 ways. First is existence discrimination. For you being you, they start to discriminate. And the second one is the financial discrimination. So the world is money oriented as hell. So the first time that they took me seriously is when I got rich and successful. So that those got silent. And I followed 100% my father's words and consulting. He told me, you want, and you are actually a gay man, and you want men. And that's obvious, he said to me back in 1991. He said, yes, I will accept you. In a country where nobody was accepting, was a big shame. I should have been thrown away from the family. He said, I accept you, but your life will be very difficult, he said to me, if you are not free, meaning free financially, because nobody's going to support you, nobody's going to employ you. Your brothers and sisters will be ashamed of you. He told me this, and this is the first time I say this in your interview. He told me your brothers and sisters will be ashamed, and they are now, and they don't talk to me, and this hurts to me, but at least I'm free financially. I bought my freedom with money, because in this world, if you have money, you are free. If you don't have money, no matter who you are thrown away.
But what do you think that happened to you, or what you did mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that got you there? Because that's not an easy place to get, especially if you don't have that support. And when you lost your parents, it could have gone in the other direction with all the personal anguish that you went through. So what was the thing that really made you say, no, I'm done, and I'm going forward with this? That's it.
I believe that the thing that supported me and still gives me power is the love of my parents, because it was such an intense, in the very beginning, such intense that I have it still with me. A kind of a meditation and trying to get the energy. I will tell you a very funny short story, what I was doing when I was 13. I fell in love with a guy that he even didn't know about me. And he was passing with a bike in front of my window, and he had a nice pair and very handsome guy. And I wrote a love letter. The love letter was in 1991 when I was 11, and 13, I stopped him. I said, I love you. And then he stopped the car, and the bike, and saw me. He didn't insult me, and he went. And later that day and the days that came after, I was just sitting in the window and seeing the stars. And I could see the stars from my little town. Here we can't see stars in New York. And I was saying, can I have a prince? And can I have somebody to love me? Can I have a beautiful princess life? I'm praying, really praying every day. And I mean, after many years changed, going to the graveyard of my grandmother and praying to her, trying to see her eyes in her picture, and praying, looking at her eyes, that, can you help me give me this chance, help me from up to become who I want, and I don't want anything else. I was asking very little. I was praying almost all my life, 30 years, to be me. And then when I come here, I have a picture of Jesus Christ. I know many people say that you're strange. No, I'm not strange. I just look at his eyes and he smiles at me. And I wrote something. I said, can you give me a new life and the person I want to be? Praying. And that's a prayer every day, daily prayer. So praying to yourself and for yourself and to the energy that surrounds you will help you, because that will make you calm down and will take away the fears. Because what brings us down is fear. Fear is not freedom. If we are afraid, we are not free.
I love that. So one little thing, our mission statement is 3 words: truth, passion, and authenticity. How do you fit into those 3 words?
These 3 words are very well connected for a free person, because truth is together with authenticity. And only a passionate person can have both of them.
I love that. And that's exactly why I started all of this. You know, I wanted to have a platform that celebrated people like you, that celebrated powerful people that found the power within themselves to change the world for the better. And, you know, Gurus Magazine is really about finding that power and using it for good. And I think that you really encapsulate all of those things. Thank you so much, Elton. I'm just honored to talk to you. I just love your entire message. I love everything you've done, the generosity of spirit, finance, soul, everything that you give back to the world. And I'm so proud that you have found the courage now to live every single dream you've ever had. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Thank you.